I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, the voice of the Commonwealth, bringing you tomorrow's news today. Yeah, it's something we've been saying on the channel over the years, and I kind of stole it from a 1997 James Bond movie, and I'm going to be playing that clip on the next episode of Mike in the Night on Odyssey, where we could play it, and you guys could see what I'm talking about. Tomorrow's news today being brought to you by Mike Martins, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And today I bring some very sad news, and it kind of circles around New Zealand. And it's very important that everyone pays very close attention to this, because the media died 22-ish, maybe 25 years ago. Rest in peace, the dinosaur mainstream media. Now, what they've done is they've taken all the truth out. They manipulate the images. They say, give me the images and I'll create the war. You know, over all the years, how mainstream media has manipulated everything and anything they could get their hands on to curve their status quo or whatever it is they want to project to us. But now, this is a big one. And I'm predicting here that governments will start passing laws. Here's the prediction. Governments will start passing laws to mandate and make Google, Meta, Facebook, Twitter, all these platforms, one after another, to pay heavy taxes to their mainstream media. Why? Well, it's because it's happening in New Zealand, and they're laying the groundwork to pass this law. So let's take a look at that right now and find out what is going on and why we're going to be in a lot of trouble real soon once the mainstream media folds. Why? Because they're going to tax, not the mainstream media folds, but once Google and all the other ways that we could communicate with each other. Twitter's been wide open lately. I've been posting on Twitter wide openly with no consequences. Now, they're looking at banning Twitter in the EU. That's something we covered on the last Mike in the Night. So they're going to tax the crap and find the crap out of Google, Meta, Facebook, Twitter. I call it Twitter, by the way, and all the other platforms are going to be taxed to death, basically, and put them out of business because no one is no longer watching or looking at the mainstream media. All right, so here it is, right here, guys. Don't forget to check out Mike in the Night on Odyssey. There it is, episode 471. So if you get some time, check out 471. We had some really good callers, really good information brought into us from all over the Commonwealth. All right, so here it is. New Zealand plans law to force Google Meta to pay news publishers for content. This is a very big deal. The story is out today, and I want to bring this out today because this is going to be coming to every other country in the Commonwealth. And we asked you guys in a graph or in a poll, which country in the Commonwealth do you think is the testing ground for all the other English-speaking countries, or which country in the Commonwealth would be the one that's going to basically be the petri dish or the proving grounds for the rest of the world? And Australia was number one, and then New Zealand, and then Canada. And this poll was conducted. We conducted this poll back in 2017. So, you know, things were already out of hand back then. So here it is. So New Zealand plans Meta to pay news publishers for content. New Zealand intends to require large tech companies like Google and Meta to compensate local media companies for content they used and share on their platforms. Well, then don't post it or don't show it if you don't want it being read or reshared. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? So there it is. It's not fair that big digital platforms like Google and Meta get a host and share local news for free. It's the cost to produce the news, and it's only fair they pay. So there it is right there. So let's go back here. New Zealand wants to force big tech to hand over cash to mainstream media. Again, mainstream media is it's past its deathbed. It's past its deathbed. It's already buried in the ground 6 feet under for 10 years now, the mainstream media. So if you're tired of censorship, subscribe to Reclaim the Net. So this is where I found the article on Reclaim the Net there, if you guys want to check them out. The New Zealand government plans to introduce a law that will require big tech companies like Meta and Google to pay mainstream media companies for local news content in New Zealand news media. So there it is. So I wouldn't say honestly that they are stealing news. I think what they're doing is they're taking the news that they're telling us, the lies, and the main and the Google and people on Google and Twitter and Odyssey and all those platforms are starting to debunk them. Now that Twitter is now wide open, I've been posted on there myself too, wide openly. I got banned off there 2 or 3 times. I don't even remember how many times I got banned off Twitter, but I don't care. I don't care. But now the word's getting out, and it's so bad that the EU wants to ban Twitter. So this is what's happening right here, and this is why I'm saying that countries are going to get so desperate, they're going to start going after whatever and whoever has money. Now, Canada took a different approach on this. Canada actually used taxpayers' money bailouts. So they're in the billions now. This is an old article from 2019. The Canadian Trudeau government, Liberal government, has already bailed out the mainstream Dinosaur Media in Canada in the billions now. So this is an older article. And Justin Trudeau was joking when he suggested he bribed the media. And he did bribe the media because the taxpayers are paying for it. And the taxpayers get the misinformation. And the Great Canadian Media Swindle, if you want to read more about it, there's an updated story there on Canadian Dimension. And there it is. Which media benefited from Trudeau's government's COVID-19? They break it down here. All the financials are broken down here to spreadsheets and other ways you can see. That's from Canada Land. Now, this is very important. Now, this is happening in Canada, and this is going to be basically disrupting people like myself that have been on social media for, I don't know, 12 years on a channel that's still up for 12 years, and then 3 years on a channel that was taken down before that. So on the mainstream media for a long time, constantly banned, constantly shut down. So Google fights Bill C-11 with Keep YouTube Yours. So people in Canada are seeing these ads all over Canada because basically there it is right there. I'm going to read accessibility to human right in innovative feature like door detection, sound. Okay, sorry. So when you're in here and you're looking at a video, okay, that's what the video is about. So keep YouTube yours. Your YouTube feed is uniquely yours. Bill C-11 could change that. So Google has started serving a new pop-up on YouTube users in Canada to help raise awareness of Bill C-11, aka Online Streaming Act, which could have significant implications for online streaming platforms and the Canadians who use them. Your YouTube feed is uniquely yours. Bill C-11 could change that. The alert reads: the Liberal government targeted Bill C-11 in Liberal government tabled Bill C-11 in February as the amendment to the Broadcasting Act. So there it is right there. While Bill C-11 stated goals to support the creation and promotion of Canadian content, it will give the Canadian Radio Television Telecommunications, CRTC, regulatory authority over online streaming platforms to achieve that. So basically, they're going to tell you what to watch, what you can't watch, what you should be watching, and that's what they want to do, and they want to regulate that. In its current form, however, there are concerns that the bill gives CRTC too much power, potentially even bringing user-generated content under the watchdog's purview. In fact, outgoing chair Ian Scott has already admitted it would do as much. So they've already admitted that they will be basically punishing people for speaking outside the narrative. What's more, Bill C-11 could also affect livelihoods of Canadian content creators by messing with the discoverability of their videos. Now, it's kind of interesting that they talk about discoverability of the videos because I only get discoverability on my videos on YouTube when I open my YouTube channel here, and I'm going to show you guys and prove it to you guys. I only get discoverability on my videos when, let's go to videos here, most popular. So the only time I get discoverability is when the internet in Canada goes down. So the internet in Canada went down 4 months ago on that date. You could find that date. The internet in Canada was down, okay? Most people had no internet. But I put up a video, the Bill C-11, there it is, right there in the title, 110,000 views in 3 days. Or 104,000, but then more people watched it after to see what it was about. But it was about 104,000 views in 3 days while the internet was down. And I could show you multiple. This video right here, a real Canadian hero. There was an internet disruption in parts of Canada, and this video got 36,000 views in a matter of hours, right? So when the internet or has a disruption or a problem, I usually start skyrocketing in views. And I know there's an internet problem in Canada because one of my videos are getting a lot of views. Now, let's jump over real quick here to Bill C-18, an act respecting online communication platforms that make news content available to persons in Canada. So there's Bill C-18, and this is off the Government of Canada website, so all the college graduates know I'm not making this up. Overview. Many Canadians access news content through digital intermediaries. Bill C-18 would enact the Online News Act, the Act, which proposes a regime to regulate digital platforms that act as intermediaries in Canada's news media ecosystem in order to enhance fairness in the Canadian digital news market. So this is very dangerous. Canada is on a path of destruction. And, you know, they're bragging about euthanization. They're bragging about, you know, getting all this stuff done. And it's all stuff that's going against us and destroying the fabric of what it means to be a Canadian. So I wanted to throw this video up there. Tomorrow's news today, guys. I just wanted to throw this out because I know they're going to be coming after Google, Meta, Twitter, Facebook. They're going to be coming after all those social media platforms to make sure they start paying the governments, because governments are going broke. They've been taxing us to death. That's something we've been covering on the channel for the last 10 years. They've been taxing us to death as cities go broke, and they are realizing that the people are running out of money and they have no more money, that they could get money out the government. So they're going to be going after, watch, Facebook, Twitter, watch. They're going to be coming after Meta, or whatever they want to call it. I call Twitter Tweeter. I've always called it that because you're tweeting. So anyways, guys, I'm on Twitter too. If you guys want to follow me, just type in Mike Martins and you guys will follow me on there too. And we're just openly throwing things out there which we weren't allowed to anyways. So there's my prediction. They're going to tax and fine the crap out of big internet media companies. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Mike Martins here. I have spoken. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good day. I'll see you on the flip side, and I'll see you next Saturday on Mike of the Night.